Coach, just talk about last year a little bit. 9-3, first round playoff win. What was that like to kind of get the stuff where you wanted it to be up here?
Sure.
I guess.
Yeah, it was. We felt like it was a long time coming, and what we ask of these guys, and the commitment that they have, and that this staff has, and the time we put in. It was good to kind of see some of that pay off, and talking about the playoff win. Especially coming off the week before. When we lost the region championship game, and I really didn't know how we were going to respond to that because we talked about it. Since January. The year that 10 months before, and our guys, they showed up on Sunday ready to work, and we had a great week of practice, and we hosted the first playoff game, and I don't know how long, and for us to get a win, it was special. So it was something I think those guys are really proud of, and they should be.
Good cap for the community too.
Yeah,
for them to be able to come out and enjoy that. I know they really are supportive.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. I think our fans deserve that, and like I said, that week before was tough. Losing to Johnson County, and for us to bounce back like that, I think it was huge for us moving forward.
D1 signees aren't anything new up here at Unicoi, but to see Brett be able to go so close to home at ETSU, I guess you're happy for him, but then also looking forward, how in the world are you going to replace his athleticism on the outside?
Yeah, Brett's a special talent. Not only just his athletic gifts, but his intellectual gifts. He had a 4.0 and a 28 ACT, and all the opportunities he had were obviously because of what he could do on the field, but also because of his grades. So. And saying all that, his best quality was probably how great of a leader he was. We didn't have to worry about that locker room last year because we knew that him and Noah White and those seniors were going to handle that. So that's sort of been our challenge to these rising seniors. Because obviously we've got some talented kids. But we've said, you guys are your biggest challenge is going to be to replace the leadership we lost as much as anything on the field.
And so I would guess it probably starts with QB1, Brock Thompson, is where your leadership is going to start.
Yeah. And he's hadn't even started his junior year yet, and he's already won 14 football games. So he started over 20 varsity games at quarterback, and he's really grown. He's grown. He's filled out. He's running well. He's jumping well. So we're going to ask a lot of him, especially we think that people are going to obviously key on Cody a whole lot and try to slow down our running game. So I think it's going to kind of open up our passing game, which is sort of the opposite of what happened last year. Everybody wanted to take Brett away on the outside, and that's what I think really helped Cody be able to run the way he did and us to have the success in our run game. So this year I could see it sort of going the other way.
Brock, you say he's grown. I'm sure he's grown as a person. He's also physically grown. He's probably put on 2 inches.
Yeah, for sure.
And like you said, filled out. And Cody is another one that's grown. Cody Lewis. I think you guys said he's put on 10 to 20 pounds, but he's kept his speed.
Yeah.
Most recently, he ran a 4.45 at Tech and 4.46 at Tech.
Yeah.
His speed is just a game changer.
Yeah, once he gets to the second level, he's usually gone. And that's something that that doesn't come around a whole lot. And he's as good or better than probably any running back we've had here, going back all the way to probably Coach Duncan. Back in the day. But he's a great kid, and he's a worker. He's a weight room kid. And he's got track speed, but he's not, a lot of times you've got kids that are track stars and football pads. He's a football player, and he's a special kid. And like I said, I coached his older brother Dylan, and he was just a warrior for us. He did everything, and I've got a whole lot of love and a whole lot of respect for that family.
And off the field, I'm sure he's a good kid too.
Awesome.
Well, he'll be another senior leader that
sure.
you'll need to step in.
For sure, yeah, and and him and Roby Lemon and Michael Harrington, that's 2 guys that have been starting since they were sophomores on the offensive line, and both undersized, really. They're both finally up to about 200 pounds. And Roby's a little heavier than that, but I've made the comment. People asking about college coaches, and asking about Cody and. I've told him if Roby was 6'2" or 6'3", he'd be playing anywhere he wanted to, because he's just tenacious and physical. And he's pound for pound the best lineman I've ever coached here, no question. He's just an anchor for us, and the success that we had last year, and especially running the football. We were running right behind him, so we're certainly glad he's back. And Nick Farner's another one. Those three guys are going to be 3-year starters on the offensive line. So I think those guys sometimes don't get the credit they deserve at all levels. But that's just the nature of it. But they're all program kids, and we're excited for them.
And speaking about the program, you just kind of come in, and you and your coaching staff has just kind of infused a new life. It seems like the kids are having a good time. We were down there, they're listening to music, having a good time. What are some of the things you tried to do to make this your program? Sure. But I know it's Unicoi County. Sure. But
well, I played here, and and I live here, and I take a lot of pride in that. And we just said when I took over, that we're going to require or ask a whole lot of these guys. So if we're going to do that, then there has to be a trade-off there. And the trade-off we try to make is them having a great facility to spend time at. We try to give them as much clothes and gear and all this stuff as we possibly can. And the reality is this building and the things we give them here, and even hopefully the leadership we provide as a staff, and even our older guys as players, a lot of the cases is better than anything they have at home. So I think that's what keeps a lot of these kids coming back, and I think they truly believe that this is a family here, and we try to treat it that way. And we always tell them families don't always get along, but at the end of the day we're still family. So we spend a whole lot of time talking about that, and we try to just get those guys to buy into that as much as possible.
And so what do you guys need to do this year in order to be successful? Kind of hard to top 9-3, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I know undefeated is always in somebody's mind, but
sure.
What are the things you guys need to do to be successful?
Yeah, I think just to continue, I don't think we need to reinvent the wheel. We talk all the time, and I think media people get tired of hearing it, radio or whatever. We try to go 1-0 every week, and that sounds cliche, but this season's so long, and it's easy to get caught up in it, and it's easy to look ahead to the end of October or the playoffs or whatever. But we just sort of try to make it a week by week process, and show up on Sunday and work all the way through Friday night. But I think if we continue to do the same things, and obviously we're still chasing that region championship, and we had 4 goals last year, and got 3 of them, and that was the missing piece. So that's our what we're trying to get, and that's what I think motivates these guys. And like I said, we're excited.